GDP and labor force composition, China, India and Pakistan.
Earlier you told me that labor or workforce is one of the major demographic endowment. Can you please tell me how it is deployed and utilized in various sectors among all the three economies?
Sure, let's figure out how people are engaged in different sectors in China, India and Pakistan. Agriculture accounts for just 10% of China's, 17.2% of India's and 21.6% of Pakistan's GDP, whereas it is the leading occupation in all the three countries and involves around 36.7% of China's, 52% of India's and 45% of Pakistan's workforce. From the above trend, we can interpret that majority of workforce in all the three countries is dependent on agriculture, which contributes least to the GDP everywhere, reflecting its inherent limitation. This has resulted in skewed growth, widespread poverty, and inequality in all the three countries. The trend of industrial sector is little diverse, while China has over a period of time developed specialization and comparative advantage in manufacturing. India and Pakistan are still struggling to polish their manufacturing skills and make a mark on a global landscape. In China, manufacturing contributes the highest to GDP, whereas in India and Pakistan, it is the service sector which contributes the highest. Industrial production accounts for whopping 46.7% of China's GDP and employs 28.7% of its workforce. A nation that barely knew how to feed itself is now an industrial giant, leading the world in the production of steel, aluminum, copper, cement and coal, and specialized things like merchant ships. On the other hand, industrial sector contributes to 26.4% of India's and 24.9% of Pakistan's GDP, and it employs merely 14% of India's and 20% of Pakistan's workforce. Unlike China, which has successfully redeployed the surplus farm laborers to manufacturing, India and Pakistan are yet to find a sustainable solution to rural unemployment and underemployment. GDP and labor force composition, China, India and Pakistan. Service sector accounts for 56.4% of India's GDP, 53.4% of Pakistan's GDP and 43.3% of China's GDP. Whereas employment of workforce is almost same at 34% in all the three economies. India leads the bandwagon here. Indian service industry employs English-speaking intelligent workers on the supply side, and on the demand side, rising demand of foreign consumers who are interested in affordable India's service exports serves the basic need of market making. Key thing to note here is that typically in the normal course of development, countries first shift their employment and output from agriculture to manufacturing and then to services. This is what is happening in China, as can be seen from table. But in India and Pakistan, the shift is taking place directly to the service sector. The proportion of workforce engaged in manufacturing in India and Pakistan were low at 16 and 18% respectively. The contribution of industries to GDP is also just equal to or marginally higher than the output from agriculture. Thus, in both India and Pakistan, the service sector is emerging as a major player of development. It contributes more to GDP and at the same time emerges as a prospective employer.